When we're young, we have an amazing, positive outlook about how great life is going to be, but somewhere along the line, we forget to dream and end up settling. Join Up Dots features amazing people who refuse to give up and chose to go after their dreams. This is your blueprint for greatness. So here's your host, live from the back of his garden in the UK, David Ralph.
Yeah, hello, good morning, Macedonia. Yeah, you might have heard in a recent episode, I was number one in Macedonia, dropped a little bit, but hello, you Macedonians. I love the Macedonians more than any other country on earth at the moment. But if you can push me to the top of the charts in any other country, I will love you as well. I will love you, and I will come round and I will rub oil into your body and massage you to say thank you. Yes, I will, because that's what I like to do in Join Up Dots. I'm feeling all good today in Join Up Dots land. It is a Friday morning, and I'm about to take another break. Yes, I've built it into my life now that I burst into the office full of energy, and then I can kind of disappear when I want. And it has taken me years to get to that point. And I think that's one of the questions actually in today's episode, because we're going to be answering some listeners' questions in today's episode. So it's not going to be a super duper long episode of Join Up Dots, but it's gonna be value packed. It's going to be value packed because I will be answering the questions that people have posed to me. So it's been an interesting week this week. I have spent some time with our web designers. Well, trying to design the website. We've got a new website on the way for Join Up Dots because it's kind of outgrown what it was. The site I created as a place to host the shows. But now we are rocking and rolling, and we really are rocking and rolling. I say this a lot, actually, and this is one of the things that I want you all to get. I want you all to understand in life. But no matter what you're doing, you never get there. So you will do something and you'll become really successful on something. And then once you get to that point, you look over and you think, oh, actually, I'm not that successful. There's other people that are doing a lot better than me. And you get to the top and you push them out of the way and you pull, there's more people. And it's the same with like websites and God knows what as well. You think you've got it sorted and then you think, oh, yeah, I should be doing that and I should be doing this. And I didn't even know I should be doing that. And so what I did recently, I decided not to worry about anything that will just naturally take care of itself. I used to sit there thinking, oh God, I better write a list. I've got to do this and I've got to do that and I've got to add this onto it and I've got to have this email opt-in and this video course and all these kind of things. And now I think to myself, it would just take care. It would just take care of itself. I just do what I do and do it as well as I possibly can and get to the end of the line when I get to the end of the line. So it's been a real change. And I don't know if you hear that on Join Up Dots, but I certainly have got my mojo back. I've got my focus back. I got a little bit lost. Don't tell anyone, but I got a little bit lost because it was all around me. It was all around me. So anyhow, it's not about me today, it's about the listeners, and it's a listeners show. So we are going to be answering some listeners' questions, and we've been getting quite a few of them through. And what I like to do is I like to hold some back to answer on the show. So hopefully the people that will be out there will be going, oh, that's so-and-so, he never responded. Oh, he did. I love him again. Or maybe they're going, oh, he didn't respond, and I'm going to stop listening to him and go off and listen to somebody else. If that's the case, I do apologise, but I do answer everything, but we get there in our own time. And the first question that we got was from Jessica Arnold from Illinois. Come on, Illinois. Girls, grab the boys. You've got to have known 70s music for that one. So, yeah, come on, Illinois. Come on. What's Jessica Arnold saying? Well, thank you so much for dropping us a line, Jessica Arnold. And David, thank you so much for your show, Join Up Dots. You're welcome, Jessica. You really are. It really is my favourite show. And I have a question for you, if you'd be kind enough to answer it for me. My question is it important to have the profile first or the business? What I mean by that, good, because I'm not quite sure on that, is I seem to be spending so much time on website design and creation, but I'm not getting anywhere close to actually making a proper business and earning money. I'm now wondering whether I should not worry about the website and the profile, but just go out and find customers. Now, yeah, that's a good question, really, because I think a lot of us get bogged down with trying to get a super duper website there and making everything look super professional and polished. before we even start actually providing the service that we want. Now, all businesses ultimately are service-based. You're either providing a service one-on-one, you're either providing a service in group coaching, you're either providing a service that you're sending a product out to them by drop shipping, or you're providing a service by providing information, really. So that can be like affiliates, that can be clicking on this link, clicking on that link. As I've got on my website, whatsappfloridakeys.com, which you can go over and check. Totally affiliate based. I don't have to do anything with that other than provide content. Now, at the very beginning, yes, we all think that we have to have a super duper logo. We all think we have to have a super duper website. But what you need, Jessica, more than anything, is you need to deliver the promise. You need to inspire people with what you're able to provide them. And people do not really care about the sexy business. I know people that have created very successful businesses just with a LinkedIn profile. And you can set that up within, a couple of days or whatever. I also know people that have set up incredibly lucrative businesses and they don't even have a website. So it is totally doable, but you do need to get out there. You need to start making these connections. Now, one of the great things that you can do a thing called dry testing, where basically you will create a very basic page. It doesn't have to be anything more than your promise, and link it to a Facebook ad, send it out and say, this is what I'm offering. Would this be of interest to you? Say yes in the comments box or something like that, and see how many responses you get. Now, you can do that before you even create the business, before you even create the website, so you can actually see, am I going to be making money for it? And you'll see that on Facebook a lot. Well, I do, because I'm sort of surrounded by these kind of people now, but you see it a lot. Oh, I have done incredibly well on Instagram over the last 6 months. I'm willing to share my secrets with you. Would this be something of interest to you? If it is, put Instagram in the comments box, and then you get loads of people going, oh yeah, Instagram, because they want that. Then you've got a business. You've got a business before you've started actually doing anything with your website. So I do think there's two ways of doing it. Content production is key. So if you can do that at the same time, get it out on YouTube, get it on the blog or whatever, because it is good. You're going to need that in the long term. You need to sort of get your profile out there. With Join Up Dots, let's talk about me. Come on, Illinois. Now, with me, I must have released, 300, 400 shows, really. And my website didn't have any links to any kind of monetization at all. But I knew that to be a podcaster, you got a podcast. So you've just got to sort of crank it out all the time. And it's not wasted because it's there. You could go back and listen to episode 0.5. You can listen to episode 1. It's all there on Join Up Dots. So content is important because it builds SEO. And it really does build a business for the future. Okay, so content will always pay you back. But get out there first of all and start connecting with people. That's the key thing. And I think the cheapest way of doing that is Facebook. Get on Facebook, either do a post, tell them what you're offering, tell them would it be of interest to you, and find out if there's a business before you do anything with website designs and stuff. That's certainly what I would do now. I would dry test everything. And if people come back and go, or if they don't even respond at all, then it's not a business, even though you think it's great. Having a business where you make a poodle look like the Union Jack, other people may not think the same. Okay, so yeah, dry testing. But thank you so much for Jessica Arnold from Illinois. I'm going to have to do it again. Come on, Illinois. Girls, grab the boys. Oh, it's a good song. It's a good song by Slade. Right, okay. So the second question, I could almost do the gargle game today. I've got the glass of water in front of me, but maybe not. Okay, second question is from Melanie Connors from Canberra, Australia. G'day, Melanie. G'day. Thank you so much for Join Up Dots, and I look forward to listening to more and more of the amazing episodes you release. Well, Melanie, I'm going to be releasing them more and more and more. I don't think I'm ever going to stop Join Up Dots. I'd be absolutely astonished if I ever stop this show. I just can't see why it would happen. So, yeah, come back in 5 years' time and it'll be a totally different show, but I'll still be here. just 5 years older. Dear David, I was listening to your recent episode where you were talking about feeling addicted to the internet. Did I talk about that? Oh, yes, when I was on holiday, that's right, and I disconnected. Yes, I remember that now. They all blur into one, Melanie. People say this to me. They go, oh, you know when you was talking to so-and-so? And I think, oh, I don't really remember. But, yeah. Okay, yeah, I remember this one now. And I have noticed the same feelings in myself. As soon as I wake up early in the morning, I'm checking my notifications. And that continues all day until I go to bed early. I literally cannot leave the phone away from me. Can you suggest a way that I can break my addiction? Because you seem to have mastered it amazingly well. And I now can see that I have a problem. Thank you so much, Melanie Connors. Well, believe me, Melanie, first of all, I haven't mastered it. I've kind of managed it, I think is a better way, because I still have an urge to say to the wife, I'm just popping up to my recording studio for a couple of minutes. And she's like, oh, I'll see you in 2 hours. See you in 2 hours. It's never 2 minutes. So it's still, kind of difficult. I have mastered it away from the home because I don't have anything, the ability to take it with me. So I don't have tablets, I don't have phones, as you would have heard. So I can literally, once I'm away from the home environment, I can walk straight away from it and leave it all behind. But I think the key thing with all addictions is you're not going to break it overnight. And you're not going to do it on your own. So what I would suggest is that you create a support group where you say to people, look, please, can you help me? I realise that I am addicted to this. If you send a message to me and I respond instantly, can you slap me in the face with a wet fish or something? Just sort of help me along to support you. Because you're not going to do it on your own, because it's not an addiction, it's a routine. You've got used to picking up your phone. You've got used to looking at the notifications. The other thing that you can do is just break it down by 20 minutes or so. Just leave it in a drawer, lock a drawer, or put it somewhere that you can't get it just for 20 minutes and be aware of your feelings inside. And if you start getting a bit stressy, Jesse, and your stomach's churning, then you realise actually it's going to take a bit longer than just going cold turkey. I'm very good on cold turkey. I can just go boom and that's it, and I will stop instantly. I know a lot of people, my wife, naming no names, the wife, who just can't do that, and she has to have her fixes. So I would do that, Melanie. I would first of all is get a support group around you, and I'm sure if you Google it, I'm sure there are mobile addiction places. I'm actually going to pause this just for a moment because I'm going to do some Googling. So I normally do no editing, so I'm just going to pause this. It won't sound like a pause to you, but I'm going to be back very, very shortly after I'm going to see what I can. Okay, I am back and I have Googled. Now, one of the things I found, which is quite interesting, is a thing called psychguides.com. And they have got guides on there, which is treatment for addiction to smartphones. And a smartphone addiction has been compared to internet gambling, it says, and shopping addiction. It's a compulsive behaviour that works similarly to substance addiction in the brain. While cell phone addiction is a fairly new concept and it isn't yet in the dictionaries, there are a few treatment suggestions for those suffering from these conditions. So you can go over to this, and I'll put the link on the show notes of this, psychguides.com. But they say make rules for yourself concerning your phone usage, kind of what I've just said. Set time periods in which you shouldn't use your phone, i.e. 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. So kind of when you're asleep, turn it off. Designate activities in which your phone is forbidden, e.g. driving or dinner time. So while you're driving, just lock it in the boot or something, and so that you can't, or the trunk, as you say in America or Australia. Schedule break times to access your phone or social media. Now, I didn't realise this, but you can download an application to help cut down on cell phone use. Break Free and Menthal, Menthal, allow you to track the amount of time you're spending on your phone and which applications, and Cold Turkey and Self-Control allow you to block the sites you wish to avoid. Now, there's a lot of information on there, and they talk about therapy sessions and Internet and Tech Addiction Anonymous, ITAA, a 12-step fellowship program that helps those addicted to technology recover from their affliction. That would be very good. Anyway, I will leave that on there, and you can go over there. But it's a common thing, and I wouldn't say it's a bad thing if it's all right. Phones are brilliant. Phones are there for emergencies. Phones are there for connections. But if you're starting to feel like it's taking over your life, I couldn't bear it. I just couldn't bear walking around with things buzzing and beeping on me. I just like disappearing. So I wouldn't say I've mastered it, but I'm very aware of it, and come back to me in a year's time, Melanie, and I would say I will mastered it, because my whole life I'm building everything that I'm online and then I'm off, and then that's it. And the idea of it is, if I can build a bigger and bigger business online when I'm offline more often than not, then that is what other people want. So I've already found a business need for it, especially in podcasting and entrepreneurship, where people are going, this isn't my dream. My dream was, sitting on the beach, and in the morning it wasn't sitting in front of a computer all the time. So that's what I'm aiming for. That is my focus, being an online legend who's hardly ever online. So hopefully they will be of interest to you, and I will put those on the show notes for this episode. Well, I'm just going to have a glass of water. Oh, it's all that singing Slade songs. They're a quite good band. Right, okay, we've got 2 more questions to answer. Hi, David. I'm interested in... Oh, who's this from? Brian Skinners from Manchester, England. Hello, Brian. Hello, Brian. How are you? Manchester's had a bit of a rough time recently with 1 or 2 things, so I hope you're all right, mate, and I hope nothing was in your vicinity was sort of affected with loved ones and stuff. Hi, David. I'm interested in creating a YouTube channel and was wondering the best way of going about it. I'm not overly technical, and I do not have enough time to really learn the process that it takes. Can you suggest any way that I can get up and running by recording the videos and nothing else? Thank you so much for the amazing and brilliant Join Up Dots. It really should be at the forefront of everyone's day. All the best, Brian Skinners from Manchester, England. Yeah, I think with anything out there, if you haven't got the time and you haven't got the inclination, first of all, it's good to have the inclination, because with obsession comes rewards. The more you can learn about something, people are generally lazy, Brian. People generally want things done for them. And if you can become an absolute expert in something, that's your business. And you can help people across the line, across the world, who are lazy. Now, with YouTube, you can go over to any of the freelance sites and just type in YouTube freelancers, and One Desk Upwork, it's now called. I know they've got a lot of people, and they can set up a YouTube channel for you, and they can optimize it for your videos. And so literally you are just sort of uploading your content. Now with it's a good idea to get some background knowledge. So I know that you're busy, Brian, but I really do think that by going over to Udemy, which is an online course center, and buying one of their courses when they're on for free or sort of as cheap as possible, $10, $20, it's good, because with YouTube, you've got to optimize it for keywords. It's no good creating a channel and no one's going to find it. So every episode should be keyword optimized, and there's ways to get to the top of the ranks. So I think it is a bit more than just uploading videos, but you don't actually have to be an expert to get going. You can go over to any of these freelance sites, just go into Google, type in freelancer, YouTube management, something like that, and you will find people. Now, what I would say is, on something like this, I'm a great believer now in getting somebody to work for you in your country because of the language barrier. I wouldn't think there's a great issue with the language barrier in, say, the Philippines or India, because YouTube is pretty much universal and global. So I would look for somebody, not the cheapest, because the cheap, you get the cheap. I hope you know that, Brian, but you get what you pay for. But go for someone, in your budget, but a little bit more than your budget, and then you would get a quality product up and running. But I'd love to know what you're actually posting on there, and let us know, and we will link to the show notes. Get some traffic. That's what it's all about. Okay, and in the very last question in Join Up Dots today, it says, who's this from? Michael Peters. Michael, it doesn't say where you're from, Michael. Okay, in a recent episode of Join Up Dots, I heard you say that you now only work 1 month at a time. Could you advise how long it took you to get to this point, as I would love to be able to do the same job? My job is 6 days a week as a fireman in Missouri. Oh, you're in Missouri. Okay, Michael Peters from Missouri. And I want a side gig that replaces the income to allow me to move to a more flexible timescale. It's all I want in life. Your show is incredibly inspiring for me, and my brain is flooded like a fireman's hose with ideas every time I listen to your episodes. Keep them coming and keep inspiring me. Cheers, Michael. It's taken me a long time. Now, when I started Join Up Dots, one of the things that I wanted, first of all, was to create a business that was totally on my own terms, that I could turn it on and turn it off. That was the first thing. And so I set about actually creating a bit of a monster for myself, because I set off with too much work to do in the upskilling stage right at the very beginning. And you think, oh, a podcast, you just talk into a microphone and you upload it. There's a lot more than that. But I didn't know at the beginning because you don't know what you don't know. And little by little, I realised all this. So I managed to free myself from Join Up Dots. So I only do it 3 days a month. 3 days a month is my Join Up Dots days, and that covers everything. Now, there's a bit of preparation. I have to do the research for guests. So when I say 3 days a month, that's the recording stage. So I would say probably add another day for all the research and writing the introductions, which I love to do myself. So yeah, it's very sort of fluid. Now, what I class as it, and you have heard me say 1 month on, 1 month off, is I don't want to do stuff in my life when I've got to do it. That's what I class as work, Michael. So certain times, like my recording my shows, if a guest is lined up at 8 o'clock in the morning, I've got to be there at 8 o'clock in the morning. And if somebody says to me, oh, would you like to do this today? I can't, because I've got to do that. I like to have that flexibility. Now, it's fun in my life. It's fun to be creating what I'm creating and getting emails and listeners connect with me on Facebook and ask me questions. I really, really enjoy that. So I don't class it as work. But I do realise that by actually disconnecting fully for a month, then I come back bigger and better and recharge. I realise that now just by doing something for a couple of weeks recently. So my aim for that is to literally switch off, do all my recording, do my everything within a month, and then switch off and not go anywhere near a computer. Now, that's taken me about 8 years, I would say, but that was 8 years of not knowing it was possible. If I had gone back in time and I could trace my dots, join up my dots, then I think I would be able to do it quite quickly, because it's just making those decisions about access. It's making those decisions about allowing people to get you on their time schedule and not on yours. And all the top guys, you know, if I contacted, say, Richard Branson now, he's not just going to go, oh, yeah, David's on the phone. Yeah, I'll spend a couple of moments with him. He's going to structure it that it's right for him. And I think there's a confidence piece that sort of you have to get to, where you realise actually it's your life. You might be providing a service, you might be building a business, but it's not totally 100% your customers' point of view you've got to be focusing in on. You've got to think about yourself as much as them. And so you've got to create something that is right for you. So if you are finding yourself being pulled from pillar to post, then you've got to think, what can I do about this to actually reduce this? Now, one of the things that I do in Join Up Dots is I only look at my emails every 2 weeks. And I just spend about an hour bashing it out really, really quickly. Bang, it's done. Where I used to be thinking, oh, I've got to check it today and come up and log on and sort of respond to the emails. It doesn't. It's not life-shattering if somebody waits 2 weeks to get a response to an email. So it's all decision-making, Brian. Sorry, not Brian, Michael. I do apologise. It's all decision-making. Right at the very beginning, you have to decide how to paint yourself closest to the door so that you can close the door behind you. Do you have to be doing it yourself? Can you outsource it? Do you have to be doing it yourself? Can you use online scheduling or systems? Do you have to be doing it yourself at all? Is it something that really is needed? I'll give you an example, and it works very well. One of the things that I realised back in the day in podcasting land was there was a hell of promotion, left, right and centre. And it was driving me nuts. It literally was. I was loving doing the show, but all the scheduling of everything was rubbish. So I decided that what I would do is not do any of that, but really become an expert in iTunes, because my logic was, if people are going to iTunes to find podcasts, why can't I get them to find me easier? And then the more people that find me, the more people that listen, you go higher up in the charts, then more people then listen. And that's how I thought about it. So I basically stopped promoting and really broke my audience, because a lot of it was kind of built on sand. As soon as I took that constant daily promotion away, they weren't real listeners anyway. They just kind of flipped away. And so that's what I did. So I broke my audience and I carried on building up, and it's going really, really well. So what I did there, Michael, was I decided that there was a lot of the job that I didn't want to do and found a different way to do it, found an easier way to do it. And you can do that on everything. So you really have to look at it, as I say, and decide what you want in life, how you want to get there and what you're willing to do with that. And if your dream is to sit in front of a computer for 20 hours a day, then that's your dream. That's brilliant. Go for it. But if it's not, if it's about spending more time with your family, enjoying yourself, going on walks with your wife, or whatever you want to do at times that's convenient to you, you've got to decide right at the beginning. It's so much easier to create these rules moving forward than it is trying to break them later on. You ever tried to take something away from a kid who's already had it? It's terrible. Just don't give it to the kid in the first place, and then they never know. So that's how I've kind of operated with Join Up Dots. Operate that I can provide as much value to everyone as I possibly can, and have a life myself. And I think that's the happy yin and yang. Yin and yang, that's what it is. So that is the episode of Join Up Dots. That is listeners' questions. And we will be back very, very shortly with another episode of Join Up Dots in its normal form. And send your questions through. Just drop us an email, joinupdots@gmail.com, or you can connect with us on Facebook and just tell us what's in your mind. Tell us what's inspired you with the shows. Tell us what you want to do going forward, and we are here to help you. That's all we do Join Up Dots for, is to inspire you guys to start making decisions and moving towards your life. And it's really satisfying for me. It's beyond satisfying when I get people saying, your show's changed my life, and your show's done this, and your show's done that. That's what we're here for. So we're here to help. And until the next time, thank you so much for listening. And we'll see you again soon. Cheers. See ya. Bye-bye.
David doesn't want you to become a faded version of the brilliant self you were once to become. So he's put together an amazing guide for you called the 8 Pieces of Advice That Every Successful Entrepreneur Practices, including the 2 that changed his life. Head over to joinupdots.com to download this amazing guide for free, and we'll see you tomorrow on Join Up Dots.